All right, students, so we're back again. I'm back again, and again, we're going to continue with the lesson. This part of the lesson is we're going to be solving the quadratic equation by factoring, all right? So this video is going to be a little bit more lengthy because it needs to be a little bit more detailed. All right, so here we are solving for g, all right? It says solve for g. So now we have g squared plus 27g is equal to 0. So early in the school year, we taught you guys how to factor, all right? So when you're factoring is we're looking at both terms to see what do they have in common, and we realize that we have a g squared and g here. They both have a g, so what I can do is I can factor out g. So if I factor out g, this is g squared, which is g times g. So if I factor out a g, I'm left with g. G times g give me g squared, all right? Plus, if I take a g from 27g, all I'm left with is 27 is equals to 0. All right, so here we have g, and then we have times g plus 27 is equals to 0. So what we're going to do is we're going to use the zero product rule to solve this. What do I mean by that? I'm going to set g equals to 0, and I'm going to set g plus 27 equals to 0. So we have g is equals to 0, or we have g plus 27 is equals to 0. So here, g is equals to 0. We can't do nothing with that, so this is going to be my answer for one of my answers. And now, in order for me to solve for g here, I'm going to subtract 27 on both sides. If I subtract 27 on both sides, these cancel. So I now have g is equals to negative 27. So this is my second answer. Again, like I said, on IXL, you're just going to enter your answers as you have 0, and then you have comma, negative 27. All right? 0, comma, negative 27. So that's how you're going to enter it in an IXL. You have two answers because it's a square. So let's go over here. I look at both terms and I ask myself, what do they have in common? Oh, I realize they both have an m. I also need to check the coefficients to see if there's a great common factor. There's not in this case, so all I'm factoring out is m. If I factor out the m, I have m times m give me m squared. I have m, and then I have minus 18 equals 0. All right? So that's what we're going to do. So here, we're going to set it equals to both equation equals to 0. So I have m is equals to 0 because it's a product here. Or I have m minus 18 equals to 0. Again, m is equals to 0. You can't do nothing there. But here, if I add 18 to both sides, right? Add 18 to both sides, m is equals to 18. So I have two answers. One answer, m, well, I guess I can say m, but I'm just going to leave it as 0 and 18. All right? And those are my answers, 0 and 18. So let's look at another problem or two to see if we can find something a little bit more challenging. So, all right, I have solve for u. All right, solve for u. So I have 9u squared plus 31u is equals to 0. And u squared plus 31 is equals to 0. So the first thing that I do, I check the variables. All right, they both have a u, so I know that, all right, I can factor out a u here. I also check the coefficients, all right, to see if I can factor. Is there a number that goes both into 9 and 31? I do the math. No, there's not a number, so I'm only factoring out u. So I'm left with 9u plus 31 is equals to 0. Again, I'm applying the zero product rule here. So what happens? I have u is equals to 0, right? Or I have 9u plus 31 equals 0. U is equals to 0, that's the answer. So yep, that's one of my answers. So now I'm gonna subtract 31 on both sides. That cancels, so I have 9u is equals to negative 31. I'm going to divide both sides by 9. Divide both sides by 9 here. That cancels, so all I'm left with is u is equals to negative 31 over 9. That's my second answer. So again, on Excel, how do I enter? I'm going to be 0 and then negative 31 over 9. These are my two answers that I will enter on Excel. Alright, so let's look at one more. Let's look at one more. I'm trying to give you guys all the options here. So solve for D. So we have 38D is equals to 27D. All right, so whenever we're solving the equation, what you want to do is you want both your equation, you want all your terms to be on one side and it equals 0 on one side in the form ax squared plus bx plus c. All right, this is squared. So what we're going to do is we're going to move 27d to the opposite side. How do I do that? By subtracting 27d on both sides. So once I do that, I guess I should do it. Minus 27d minus 27d. So once I do that, that cancels. So now all I have is 38d squared minus 27d is equals to 0. Now it's equals to 0, so I can factor here and use whatever property I'm using. So I realize that I can factor out a d. All right, I know I can factor out a d, but can I use these numbers 27 and 38? Do they have anything common? Nope. So it's gonna be 38d. Sorry, that's 38d minus 27 equals to 0. So I'm using the zero product rule again now. All right. So what do I have? D is equals to 0, or I have 38d minus 27 is equals to 0. All right. That's one of my answers. So here I'm going to add 27 on both sides. And this should be getting easier for you guys, right? So now I have 38d is equals to positive 27. So now if I want d, what I'm going to have to do is, what I need to do here is I need to divide by 38 on both sides. Those cancel. So again here, what do I have? D is equals to 27 over 38. That's my second answer, and when I'm entering it on Excel, it's going to be 0 and then 27 divided by 38. That's how I'm going to enter it on Excel. All right, so let me zoom out here so you guys can see. So this is another set of problems that we have. You know, I factored first. What I did was factor out, get the highest common factor, and then I use the zero product rule here. All right. Alrighty.